So, I want to share my thoughts on this whole situation with Ayesha Curry and her comments on, I think it's Red Table Talk. Now, before I go there, let's go back to a few years ago when all of these black dudes on social media were praising Ayesha Curry when she basically went in on other women for thirst trapping. She was like, you don't need to be out here attention seeking and dressing a certain way and doing certain things on social media to get men's attention. And when Ayesha Curry said those things, oh, these men praised her. They loved her. They adored her. They used her comments as a weapon against other black women. And as far as I know, she never came out and said, oh no, I didn't mean for my comments to be used that way. She enjoyed the attention and she enjoyed feeling like she had this position of being, on the moral high ground. Well, now in an interview recently, she basically said that she feels insecure because she doesn't get the same attention from men that her husband gets from women. Now, on the one hand, I get what she's saying. She's basically saying that it makes her uncomfortable that she knows that any day, if he wanted to, Steph Curry could trade her in for a newer, younger, hotter model. And it makes her uncomfortable because if he decided to do that, she wouldn't have a readily available pool of men, that would be ready to just swoop her into another situation where she would enjoy the wealth and the position of being a rich man's wife. She'd kind of have to start over from scratch and start all over again, whereas he could just scoop up another woman and move on with his life. I get that part of it, but here's where I don't get her, okay? I feel like some of these women who are with certain men know that there are certain things that come with being with those men. And when I say certain things, I mean that they know that because they're with men who are public figures, who are high profile, that means that other women are going to constantly be shooting their shot. So to me, Ayesha's concern should not be those women. Her concern should be about whether or not her man is committed to her and whether or not he's faithful and loyal to her. So her whole comments on this Red Table Talk makes me think that either she's dealing with an insecurity problem or there's trouble in paradise. Maybe Steph has stepped out on her, or she thinks he stepped out on her, and that's why she has this concern. Now, outside of that, I think that when you say certain things publicly, it doesn't go over well. And when you're a woman who's married to a man who has a certain amount of wealth and affluence, when you get on a public platform and you basically tell the world that his attention is not enough for you, it makes you sound ungrateful. Because you're looking at other women who can only dream about the lifestyle that you have, and you're basically saying that this man's attention is not enough for you. How do you do that interview and then go home and have dinner with your man or whatever y'all do after you've told the world that his attention ain't enough for you? Do you understand that if Sierra did that to Russell Wilson, which Sierra would never, okay? But if she did that to Russell Wilson, people would never let her hear the end of it. Because they have always acted like, because she came into the situation with a child from a former fiance, they have always acted like they felt that she somehow wasn't worthy of being with a man like Russell Wilson. If Sierra said the same thing that Ayesha Curry said, she would never be able to live it down. So here's my thing with Ayesha, because I want to like her. I really do. But I kind of wish that she would have like a publicist or someone who could filter her comments before they were aired out in the public. because she's always getting into these situations where she's saying something that causes controversy. And, you know, we just have to be careful about that. Do you know what I'm saying? There are some things that are what Wendy Williams calls kitchen table talk. You know, some stuff you say in your house, if your girlfriends come over for brunch, or you say at the bar if you're out for happy hour, that you wouldn't air out on a large public platform. Because when you say it to your girlfriends, they're going to get it the way that I initially said it, like, oh, okay, you're feeling a little insecure because you know your man could trade you in for another woman any day, right? But when you say certain things publicly, it comes across differently. And there are going to be people who hear what she said and they're going to feel like she sounds ungrateful. You're with a wealthy man who, as far as we know, has not been unfaithful to you, and you're basically saying his attention isn't enough. So those are my thoughts on Ayesha Curry. Kind of conflicted because, like I said, I get where she's coming from, but I just feel like her thoughts didn't go over well because she made the mistake of kind of airing them out publicly. Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, have a good one.